Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 157 of The Rewind. We know it's hard for you to keep up with the insane amount of information that explodes from all sorts of various social media outlets. So we've done our best to compile and compress a week's worth of info into our hour-ish of yapping. Draq and I are so happy you decided to join us again, or maybe this is your first time, and it means a lot that you've taken the time to listen to us before letting YouTube know that you never want to see content like this again. However, if you feel like this show is for you, we encourage you to join us for the show's premiere on YouTube to engage with the community every Saturday at noon Eastern.
Our gaming weeks.
Gaming weeks.
Woo! But this week we have a guest host because we like guest hosts here on the Rewind, and that guest host is the one, the only Random Rob. Say hi to the people.
Hello from the beginning of the recording and the beginning of the show. Hello.
All right. Well, this week I had an amazing gaming week because number one, I got to play some Pantheon. We are still doing our all summoner group on the After Dark Monday nights, midnight Eastern Standard Time, and we are just blowing through levels. Like we're level, what are we, 8, 9? 8.5. I think it's 8.5 is where we're at. It's crazy. We're just zooming. Now I think the triple XP is still going, so I mean there's that, but we're just destroying everything in our path.
It's pretty fun.
If you haven't seen the 6 summoners, then you need to take a look. Also this week, I played 12 hours of Monsters and Memories. They had a playtest over the weekend. So myself, Zelik, Aaron Ellis, Sarah, Essen, and Feasty, we dove into Monsters and Memories. If you like EverQuest, if you like super classic, kind of boxy, old school MMOs, Monsters and Memories is your jam. I had a ton of fun playing Monsters and Memories. Felt very old school, felt very nostalgic, teleported me back to 1999. It was fantastic.
I have a question.
Why are you playing a dwarf?
Because Goblin Wizard is not available, and I'm super pissed about that, because how can you make a Goblin class that can be an enchanter or a summoner, but not be a wizard? How is that possible?
But that's fine that Goblin's not available, but why dwarf?
All right, so here are my other options. Elf, which I never play an elf, ever. Yikes. And human. I never play humans. Those are the only other 2 options.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Now there are some races not in the game yet. Like there's like a dark elf that's not in the game yet. There's some other stuff that's not in the game. But the only thing that I could choose from that made any sense whatsoever was dwarf.
Sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did you have a question?
I did, thank you. And you did mean to interrupt me, but I forgive you.
You're welcome.
The question I have for you, Draq, is so after this play session, what did you come away with more from this game? Did you come away with more monsters, or did you come away with more memories?
Great question.
I would say I came away with memories. We had a fantastic time. It was just, I mean, we grinded. We did 10 hours on Saturday, and it felt like it was 3. So it was a good time and lots of good memories.
You know why you grinded? Because you weren't a high elf. Because they're above that. If you were a low elf, they're all about the grinding.
It's true.
Well, this week for me, also Pantheon, loving this summoner class. Definitely not changing from Paladin to Summoner, but it's certainly a fun little class. Especially, I think what makes it really fun is that 6 of us are all playing Summoners, and it's the most broken OP group. Even after they tried to patch it so that we weren't OP, it's still ridiculously OP. So that's been a lot of fun. We've been playing the Origin server still. That hasn't stopped. Rob's going nuts. He's, what are you, level 25 now?
Ding 26 today.
That's unbelievable. You're going to have to mentor me. I am just a measly 20 and fallen way behind the curve. So I need to get on that. But loving everything about Origins. It's just really fun to do the old quests. It's fun to see Antonica and all those places that I really didn't get to see or forgot back in 2004 when Draq and I played it originally. Getting to see all these like dungeons again. We talked about Blackborough last week, but I went to Stormhold with Rob and Rob's friends this last couple days ago, and that was a ton of fun killing skellies. we'll have to go back there. There's another one that's like an instance where it's just like old school time. You go into that instance. I can't think of the name right now. Maybe Rob, you can think of it, but you're then locked out for 18 hours and that's it. It's right next to Stormhold.
Fire Gully, Mist Gully, Fire Mist Gully,
Fern
like
Gully. Let's just call it Fern Gully.
Yeah, Fern Gully.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. You've certainly been diving in, Rob. What are your take on Origins? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I mean, I played it from launch. I played EQ, and then once I heard EQ2 was coming out, I switched to that. I was a day one player and played it for years and years and loved it. And then kind of went cold turkey. Kind of life happened. When these TLPs, when I heard about the TLPs, I specifically stayed away from EQ2 because I just kind of wanted to keep those good memories in the past. Instead, played.
I remember you
EQ1.
specifically saying that to me too.
Yeah, for sure. And it was, I mean, honest God truth. Like I wanted to just kind of keep EQ2 in the past, and then I heard about this Origin server, and I was like, wow, that's going to be the actual past
in the past
relived because it's that 2006 rule set. And I told my real life buddies about it, and they haven't played MMOs since we stopped playing way back when, and they were super pumped. And I was like, okay, well, getting the band back together. I'm on a mission from Gad. So we got the band back together, and we're starting to play it. And oh my gosh, it's just like I'm hooked. I'm hooked all over again.
So you have resurrected your static group from 20 years ago?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, we're real life friends. There's a thing called disc golfing. It's where you throw a frisbee and it's like golfing but with frisbees. And all of us frisbee golf. Like so we still hang out all the time and see each other all the time. And we just used to play EQ2 and now we're playing EQ2 again. Super fun.
Good stuff. The rest of my week was pretty lame. I'm still doing the fitness boxing. I am down some LBs, feeling really good about myself. You know, I've been eating right and doing the Fist of the North Star fitness boxing. I've just recently stepped my game up. So long story short, these McDonald's steak bagels came back out in my area and I needed to have one. And so I made a promise that if I were to eat these steak bagels, I would burn however many calories of steak bagel that I ate. And it was like 1,340 or something like that. Bang. Ridiculous. In 2 sandwiches. That's craziness. But I made sure that I burned over 1,400 calories that day. And I have just decided to step my game up. And now I'm burning over 1,000 calories a day with each workout. I literally just got done with it right before we recorded this. So I'm still kind of have some workout endorphin high, but it's working. The scale's going the right direction, which makes me happy because, you know, like I said, when I started this out, sitting in this chair for so long, playing MMOs has really taken its toll on me, and it doesn't get easier when you get older. So now's the time. Pick up your fitness
boxing. About that. Yeah. I have no interest in knowing anything further about this fitness boxing, but tell me about these McDonald's bagels.
Oh, buddy. So we're talking the butteriest bagel you've ever had in your life, just slathered in butter. 2 pieces of cheese, not 1, 2 pieces of melty, gooey American cheese. The folded egg, not the McMuffin egg, which I did try. I've never tried it before, and I will say that when I got 2 sandwiches, I did try one with the McMuffin egg. Not as good. Stick with the folded egg. That's the way to go. Caramelized onions and steak.
Ooh.
Delicious
caramelized
steak.
Onions at McDonald's?
Oh yeah, buddy. What? It's unbelievable. So maybe it's not caramelized. Let's say sauteed onions. That's probably a better way to put it.
Okay, that's pretty fancy for McDonald's.
It's delicious. They took it away in COVID. Like, remember when they were in their heyday and we were having breakfast 24/7? I could order a McMuffin anytime I wanted to, and I was in heaven. Well, they took that away in COVID, and they took away the bagels for forever. And they did sprinkle them in. So some places have had the bagels for a while, but where I'm at, we just got them like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I wanted to have one.
Yeah.
Is this a good time to thank our sponsor, McDonald's?
Thank you, McDonald's, for making me step my game up in fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star. Anyway, last but not least, what the magic of podcasts will not let you know is that I lost power the last week we were recording this. So after we recorded this and I had no power, I just flipped on my Switch and picked a game, and it was Octopath Traveler 2. I'm really enjoyed the first one. I don't know why I haven't started the second one, because it's a great game. It picks right up where I remember it, like all the skills. It's the same combat, so I'm very comfortable with it and very excited. So I picked the little huntress, and now I have like a little pet owl that rolls around with me right now. And so now I need to go journey and find all the other 7 characters.
You know that's on sale for Steam right now, right?
Great. I mean, I've had it on Switch for forever. Like it's been sitting,
you already
collecting
bought
dust on my shelf. Oh yeah.
You could have waited and just bought it for like 30% off.
I never do that. I always, like a dumbass, pay full price for games. They sit on my shelf till I'm ready, and then finally I get around to them.
Yeah, because Steam recommended it to me. I saw that the other day, and then I saw you mentioned it here. I was like, I wonder if you got that on the Steam sale. Nope. Very excited about our adventuring party. We have Grogu on the Human Warrior. We have Anton Doviditis on the Darkmere Shaman Glyphkeeper. We have Churro Dude on the Gnome Summoner. Every week we got new people joining the adventuring party. Pretty soon we're going to have a full group. Your donations will help us give away future pledges and just help us make the podcast better, better quality, better sound, better audio, better video. Thank you so much.
This week in Visionary Realms News and Notes.
All right, Pantheon News and Notes. Once again, we have a massive list of stuff to talk about. The big drop this week is Pantheon player housing fundraising email. How crazy is this thing? It's absolutely...
If we had the Price is Right losing horns, I would absolutely play them right now. Whoom, boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is such... Draq, I'm glad that they are thinking about this stuff, because I do want housing in Pantheon. I do want to pay for a house. I mean, there needs to be some sort of platinum sink, right? This is a perfect way to do that. So have a house. I don't care where. If it's an instance, great. Like in EQ2, EQ2 is the best housing. Just copy that and put it in. But like, we don't even have races in. We're still looking at humans. Why are we even thinking? Why are we even fathoming player housing right now? I don't get it.
I just did a Google check, a little Google search. Humans are a race.
I hate you, Rob.
For those of you that maybe haven't checked your email, VR sent out an email asking about player housing. They wanted to know if people wanted player housing, and also if they could use that as a way to raise money to help for the ongoing development of Pantheon. So, Random Rob, what do you think about that? Not only player housing, do you want player housing in Pantheon, but how do you feel about it? That using player housing to raise money for development.
I like it generally. I mean, I know it's on the outside looking in and being kind of a pledger and being part of a community. I can see how this could rub people the wrong way, but the way I look at it is from a business standpoint. I mean, we all want this game to be made. We all want it to get to the finish line. We all understand it's taking forever, but I mean, it takes money to get there. And these kind of fundraising drives, if you want to call it that, is how it gets there. And it's kind of a clever way to generate some money. You don't have to participate if you don't want to, but I'm all for it. I'll probably throw down some cheese for it. I'm somewhat indifferent to housing, but I mean, if it helps the project along.
This is a fine way to make some money, but like, we don't even know if the game is coming out yet, right? Like, that's still a foregone conclusion. So, like, you're asking me to pledge more money for something that I still don't know if it. Now, do I believe it's coming out? Yes, that's not what I'm questioning here. But like, why wouldn't we do this when the game hit or right before it's about to launch? Like, we've got a launch date. Okay, now we're working on housing. It needs to be something different. Like, it just can't be more promises of more things that we're still not 100% that is happening.
Here's
right.
one of the feedback that I gave in that survey was if they, and I think Ashron's Call, is that other MMO that I think one of the things that they were doing was they would have skins for certain items that you can come out or that you could purchase, and it's like a quarterly thing or whatnot, and it's not a ton of money. But I mean, if they were to hire a specific person that just dealt with housing items and cool little fancy things, and every month or every 2 months or 3 months come out with kind of like a themed package that they could then have essentially a sale, but like a pledge, like $15 for this pledge for your house or whatever, and they could have it almost kind of like a recurring thing, and the pledge money should pay for that new employee plus additional funding. So not only are you hiring a new person to do more work on the game, but you could be helping pay for even more work from other employees. And this person who's working on this new job that you created could also be working on other assets for the game as well. So it's a good way to increase the team size with cool little gadgets that people can get.
Look, there's only one person here that is a member of the EQ2 Housing Hall of Fame, and that's me. And I can't believe I'm the only one that doesn't like this.
Wow.
Okay. I don't like this at all. It just seems desperate to me. It just seems like we're about to die, and what's the most desperate thing that we can do? Let's throw in housing to get everybody riled up and see if we can get more money. Is it just me? This reminds me of like 247. Like, this is like a 247. I was just
about to say that.
Reminder of like.
If they do a survey for 247 though, I feel like they're trying to gauge.
I feel like they're trying
before they plunge.
No, I think that's smart. I think that piece of it is smart. How can you do housing? How can you sell premium housing when you don't have basic housing in the game? You have to implement basic housing first. You need to prove that you can actually do this. You need to decide what kind of housing it's going to be. You need to lay it all out. Then you can sell your premium housing. It seems like they're really bad at the pay to win stuff. And that's okay, because like, I don't want them to be good at the pay to win stuff. But it just comes across to me as really slimy, and I don't like it at all. If they offered it, would I get it? Probably, because I love housing. It's a theme in MMOs that I do, and I go nuts with it. Would I be happy about it? No. It would feel like a thing that I'm forced to do, and I don't want to feel like
the
that.
FOMO. Is this a FOMO thing for you?
It would be a complete FOMO. I would not want to miss out on it, and I would spend the money only because I wouldn't want to be the guy that didn't have it. That's
sleazy corporate America strikes again.
Yeah,
I'm the exact opposite from you, Draq, because I could really care less about housing, and I'm fine with this. But you're super into housing, and you hate this.
Yeah, I think that it would be fine if they did it when housing was in the game. You have to put housing in the game first. You can't.
I think that's the plan, right?
No, that's not the plan. They want you to pledge money that then they will use to both develop housing and develop the game. Housing isn't in the game. They're saying, put your money down and then we'll develop housing. That's what they're saying.
Keep in mind, the first part of the survey was, what kind of housing do you like? Do you have any interest in it?
Right.
And it's like a 0 to 10. What do you think about this, that, or the other? Wasn't there like 3 different types?
Yeah.
So maybe we should talk about that. There's the first 3 types of housing that they wanted to gauge interest on. And then it segues into, hey, would you pay money
Would you pay
for a pledge to help development for this.
Before we go into that,
Oh.
I want to take it back a step. Why is it whenever Pantheon or VR comes out with something like this, does the entire community think that we are bankrupt? Like that this is a desperate plan. Why is that your first notion, Draq? I don't understand what, like, it doesn't mean we're bankrupt. It just means they need more money. They need more developers. Half the team doesn't even do stuff now because they're not ready for it. So, like, we need more actual people that can develop video games, not just people that can write a story or, whatever.
I think that because they're so wishy-washy on how things are going. Like they tell us things and then those things don't pan out, right?
But they're not a publicly traded company. They don't have to. Why would they air their dirty laundry if they don't have to?
For me, they're asking me to pledge again. I'm a VIP pledger. And they've said in the past that the pledges that they've gotten is enough to, quote, finish the game. And I understand that's, give and take. But again, asking for more money after I've already spent $1,000, I need something more concrete than we're going to put this game in the future. I feel like the Kickstarter mentality, the Kickstarter idea of let's just add some more things and get more people to donate more money is over. That phase needs to be done. We need to put a box around it and say over. But it doesn't seem like VR is doing that. They're still in the mode of we need to raise more money so we can finish this game. When I feel like we should already be there and we shouldn't need to do that. And maybe it's just me fighting the dynamic of that's not reality. That's not where we're at. And so that's why it feels really fishy and slimy to me, probably mostly.
Draq, just admit that you will pay $10,000 for your own spaceship.
Maybe I have not paid a dime to Star Citizen. I have already pledged to be a part of Desmond's crew in Star Citizen. I will not own a ship.
I tell you what, if Pantheon though does come out with starships for $10,000, I mean,
there you go. Rob's in. There's your 10 grand right there. There's another developer.
Right. We got to move on. This is going to be a 3-hour rewind if we don't move on. Let's talk about some ideas for different ways to do fundraising. Or do you guys, am I the only one that thinks that this is just not a great idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Dymlos, where are you landing?
The housing or like other things?
Using the housing as fundraising. What do you think about that?
Well, as I said when we first started this question, like it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow when we don't have any of it. Like, I don't know if the game's going to come out. They don't have any housing whatsoever. How can I just throw money at faith? I guess VR is becoming a religion.
Right? That's kind of what we're doing right now. Right?
Yeah, well, damn it. We tried to get away from the cult, and now we're back in the cult.
All right.
I mean,
it's fine. I mean, it just needs to not be so expensive, I guess.
It needs to be awesome. It needs to be awesome, and it needs to not suck. And bam, everyone's happy.
And that can't be guaranteed. We don't know.
You get the random Rob guarantee on that.
Yeah.
Right. Baba Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush. All right, moving on to some other ideas. I think they should lean heavily into some one-time real-world orders. Why can't we have some cloth maps, right? People love cloth maps.
I think there already are cloth maps, right?
Isn't part
that one of the pledges?
Yeah, as part of the $5,000 pledge, get a cloth map. That is
well, you better start cranking out $5,000 then, Draq.
That's not.
That used to be the 1,000 pledge, right?
No, because that's where I'm at. I don't get a cloth map.
I think my pledge was for a cloth map.
Maybe
I think I got a cloth.
You're not getting a map.
You're an older pledge than I am, so maybe when.
Yeah, I'm old school, bro.
Maybe
you missed out.
I did.
FOMO.
You don't get that housing plot.
But
You're too late.
Why can't you do $30 for a cloth map, right? You should be able to at least make like $20 on that. Why can't we have some lore books? Eric would buy 5, right? Like, why can't we sell some lore books?
Draq can make you a Pantheon coloring book.
I mean, I got a coloring book. No one buys it, but I got a coloring book.
Well, here's the thing. Like, VR said no cash shop, right? But what about a real life cash shop?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
What?
you used to be able to buy shirts, right?
Shirts, yeah. Stuffed animals. Why can't we have a giant Pantheon stuffed bear? Why can't we have a Joppa with a beanie stuffed animal? Why can't we have a giant bean with a face, right? And Ben Dean face.
Oh, coffee, like people resell coffee. Like, have you ever seen podcasts where they're like always hawking their coffee? Kind of
Yeah.
like Rudy Giuliani has his own freaking coffee, for crying out loud. Like, why not have Visionary Realms Joppa's beans or Ben Dean's beans
Ben Dean
coffee?
beans. Yeah, Ben Dean's beans coffee.
Brilliant, right?
Dude, this is brilliant. Dude, VR, you are welcome.
Yeah, you are welcome.
All the free ideas.
What about a PVL music download, high quality, that then you could use in your streams? I think that's a fantastic idea. I'd pay $20 for that, right?
Or just listen to whenever I wanted.
Or just listen to whenever I wanted. Also, I like this idea a lot. Allow me to name a PC in the game.
Don't they already have that?
No.
That's a part of a pledge package.
Nope.
It used to be.
You design a quest or you design a dungeon. Those are the two types. Those are the two things. There's nothing in there for naming a PC or name an item or name like some kind of in-game food / drink. What if you loved, let's say, pineapple pizza? And what if
pineapple pizza.
What if you wanted pineapple pizza to be in the game? Would you be willing to pay $20 for that to call it Rob's Pineapple Pizza and have that be on a vendor somewhere?
My immersion!
Your immersion! Or whatever.
So I'm looking at the original Kickstarter chart, and I'm looking right here. NPC name. You get a name in NPC for only $500.
Only $500. Listen,
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently they already thought of this plan. But I'm just saying that's no longer there. Why can't we do that as a one-off?
Is the Kickstarter no longer active?
No.
Oh.
It hasn't been in a
In fact, it failed.
Yeah, the Kickstarter failed. You should have gotten your money back if you didn't.
Cloth map is on here too. There was a cloth map.
Be concerned.
There's also a map. Or, no, sorry, you said map.
there's
There's also a mount.
There's a mount, a horse in the original Kickstarter that they have no idea what they're going to do.
But what was the name of the mount?
I don't remember.
It's
Jim.
Hirokian Horse. Jeez, guys, come on.
Hirokian?
I thought you were the host of the Rewind. Jeez.
Do you guys have any ideas? Am I the only one with ideas?
You are the only
named
one
the
with
Ben-
great ideas, Draq.
Ben Dean's Beans Coffee.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, I got one more kind of idea. We'll see what you guys think about this. I like to lean into slash pizza. So let's have some real world appropriate named sponsored things that would appear in a real world cash shop. Like you said, let's lean into real world cash shops. So maybe I can go to the Mount Dew Inn and order myself a case of Pantheon Mountain Dew that would come to my house, and the cans would be printed with Pantheon stuff on the outside.
You know what you would call it? An XP potion.
Boom!
Nice.
Yes! Or I could get a Thrown Fast meat pie, and I could get Papa John's to send me an all meat pizza.
Not Papa John's, though.
It's
That
Papa
gives you-
Joppa.
Whatever pizza joint they make a deal with, right?
Not
then,
Papa John's.
And then you print the box, and it's got Pantheon stuff on it. Why can't we make that type of deal?
Just not Papa John's.
Shit's expensive.
Would you not pay more for a Pantheon pizza? Would you pay more? Dymlos, would you pay more for a Pantheon pizza?
Probably, but only like once. Like I probably would never do it again.
You'd only do it once.
Probably.
I mean, yeah.
What if it
like
was
the mountain?
What if it was a limited time thing? What if they don't have to do this forever? What if for 2 weeks you could order cases of Pantheon Mountain Dew? I'd order like 4 cases, right? And then it'd be so cool. And then you'd bring,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then it doesn't have to be forever, right? Or what if
you remember those limited time deals where they turned 7-Elevens into Quickie Marks and made it like a Simpsons thing for like a short period of time? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
So fun.
Like do something like that. Yeah. I mean, the problem is Simpsons is slightly more popular than Pantheon worldwide.
I think this coffee thing is our best bet. This definitely needs to be explored. I hope that this gets listened to by someone on that team.
No one's
And that
gonna
they make
listen
it
to
happen.
this.
I know. But that's a really, really good idea. People drink the shit out of coffee, and they would absolutely buy Ben's Dean's Beans. There's no question. I'd be first on board.
All right, now it's time to move on to a little section that I call Joppa Says. Because when Joppa says it, it's gold.
Salt gold.
Salt gold. Lots of stuff from Joppa this week. A little over 12 hours of streaming this week. He streamed Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Also, there's already one this week for Monday and Tuesday, but I haven't gotten to those yet. So those will be covered on next week's Rewind. But we do have a lot of good stuff from this week. Joppa talked a lot this week about summoner spells having a physical damage component to them. So you are hit physically with rocks or hit physically with ice, and that does more physical damage rather than magical damage. And that would be a way to separate them from the wizards. Do you guys like this idea or not like this idea?
It already says it's already implemented. It says physical damage right on the tooltips.
So do you like the idea of the summoner doing physical damage, or do you think it should be more magic?
I mean, if they're summoning objects out of nowhere, then yeah, it definitely should be physical damage. It's not like lightning bolt or anything, right?
What do you think, Random?
Man, I don't know. I like the idea that a mage can do physical plus arcane and whatever other sort of. So if like you're fighting a particular boss that's completely immune to one type of damage, it gives you the ability to do a different type of damage and still be engaged in a fight. But then you're also kind of infringing on the DPS, the melee DPS, and their ability to participate, because you're also doing what they can do. And if there's a boss that is completely resistant to physical damage, then you can still do your main thing, but they can't. So I suppose that would be that there would have to be some give and take there, I guess.
Here's my question. If summoners don't do magical damage of the DPS classes, that means wizard is the only class that does magic.
Channer.
That you're not a DPS class.
Bro,
They were on the A
I
tier of DPS.
crush.
No, you may be on the DPS chart, but you're not a DPS class.
I am literally on the DPS chart.
You're on the chart, correct. But
I beat the healers.
you're not a DPS class. So the only actual class that's labeled DPS that does magical damage would be wizard. Isn't that kind of weird?
What about shaman?
Shaman
I mean,
are healers.
They flex into the DPS role.
Flexing, I'm not talking about flexing. I'm talking about main.
Dude, you should see my enchanter do work. I'm flexing all day long.
Flexing.
It's fine. We want wizards to have something. We gave rogues stealth.
I mean, I'm good
Wizards
for it.
can
I'm
have
good
the
with it.
arcane damage.
It's just a little weird to me.
Nah.
I don't think it's. I mean, it makes sense. It's cool.
Makes you special.
I would just hope that, like, because one of the things that Joppa said way back when was he wants like strength, that core stat to mean something for wizards with fireballs and whatnot.
Yep.
So for summoners, I would hope strength then would affect that sort of damage rather than your int. So I hope there's cool ways to go about making those particular spells better than just being pure int.
Yeah. Joppa talked a lot about the upcoming next season, the August 17th season, and the Howlers season, the Wipe season. And he talked a lot about how he's
Is that what they're naming it? The wipe season?
No. that would be a good
The
name.
season of wiping.
I just went to Costco, bought a big old Costco thing of toilet paper, so I am currently in the wipe season right now.
Wiped. And he says he's glad that they've waited, that they didn't launch Howlers with this season because they needed time to fix all the quote cheese that has been happening in Pantheon. Are you glad that they waited, Dymlos?
I guess time will tell if they fix the cheese or not.
I'm indifferent. I mean, it's you play. We're here to, I mean, quote unquote, test, but are we? I mean, we're here to have fun and just hang out, and being capped at 35 and having everything you could possibly have, it's got to get boring at some point, right? So I'm fine either way. It's whatever.
Joppa also talked about a lot about the run mechanic, which I was really surprised because I think that the run mechanic in Pantheon is the Cadillac of running for any MMO, and I've said that before. I really like it, but a lot of people were complaining about it, how they had to push down the shift button too much to run, and it was too hard. And so Joppa is considering adding a toggle button rather than a push down button.
Yes.
Or possibly a UI where you can pick.
I love toggles.
I love the push down, especially if you're the puller. The push to sprint is vital. Like that's how you outrun the mob so you don't die on a pole, right? Like it's I agree, Draq. It's good the way it is. The fact that you can't use your pinky to hit shift. You're already using shift to cast spells. I don't understand why we can't just push shift to run too.
That's a dumb
Like
hot take.
if you want to put a toggle on there for during travel time, that's great. But I also want the choice to push sprint as well. Push to sprint.
Yeah, I think that's a superior choice. Random Rob's just wrong.
No, I mean, no. Objectively, I'm right. Do you guys like to type when you play MMOs?
Yes.
Like chat with people?
Who
I could
types?
probably type at maybe 60 words per minute ish. I'm a pretty fast typer, but if these stupid buttons would if someone would create a keyboard where instead of buttons there was just nothing but toggles, I bet my words per minute would triple. We need more toggles in our lives.
Hashtag toggle.
Hashtag toggle for life.
There's a lot of talk about pets. Apparently, the high-level pets are pulling too much aggro, specifically the fire pets, and they just die because mobs one-shot them because they just don't have enough armor or hit points to withstand blows. So that makes the wind pets infinitely better because they have a dodge component, so they can sometimes survive. So they're going to adjust that and see how that goes.
I do like those wind pets. We just got those last night. Oh man, those wind pets
are great.
Crushing it.
They do significantly more damage than the earth pets.
That was fun.
Throw it with the tank pet, and it's so great.
It's
Summoners
super
so
fun.
I love
last
it.
night, that stream, oh my gosh, that was super fun.
Also, forage is going to get faster, and you're also going to have a better chance to get something. Apparently, all the rangers were mashing that forage button, and it was pretty frustrating. So get out there and forge some stuff, rangers.
What is it now? Do we know the refresh time on it?
I don't think he said a time. I think it was,
in EQ, it's 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's way faster than that. It's like 30 seconds.
And they're complaining about 30 seconds?
Yeah.
So for the crowd, for those who aren't aware of, obviously we all know everything there is to know about rangers, but for those watching that don't know things about rangers, what the heck are you talking about?
So rangers have a skill called forage. And what you do is you push the forage button and then you you look like you're making a campfire or something, and then you get something. You have a random chance to get one out of, 50 items. And sometimes it's like some food, sometimes it's a component to make ranger only potions, sometimes it's stuff to make custom arrows. And so that's the kind of the forage mechanic.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But it could really clog up your bags. If there's I'm sure you're being hyperbolic with 50 things, but if there's a lot of things that you can get.
Yeah, I have no idea
that's
how many things there are. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I am poo-poo on this. Faster than 30 seconds? I can't believe this. I can't believe people are bitching about it.
I will go back and look, and I will put the actual time in the video because we don't actually know the time. But I had forage with my level 5 ranger, and I was pretty sure it was less than 30 seconds.
Is there a skill? Do you increase your skill at forging?
Yeah, it goes on your ability bar or your secondary bar.
Does that increase your reuse time?
No, it doesn't increase your reuse time. It increases you get better quality stuff. So you get higher level stuff, better quality stuff, that type of thing.
I like it.
Leave it to rangers to be little bitches.
I wonder if a clay, because in like EQ1, obviously like rangers and druids, and maybe another class, was it rogues or bards? But anyways, would have that. But then they gave it to certain races as well at varying levels. So I wonder if VR has any plans to give that to non-ranger races, like maybe a halfling.
I don't think so, because the stuff they make is ranger only. No
Ranger
doubt.
specific. Yeah.
Joppa has made Twitch partner. He has over 1,000 followers, and he's been streaming like crazy. So he's now a Twitch partner. Congratulations, Joppa.
Congrats, Joppa.
That's big news. What's SGL at?
We're a little over 2,000 followers, but we are.
Oh my
Listen to the
gosh.
podcast. We literally just talked about this last week.
we talked about this last week.
Thanks for your patronage.
Nobody
Why are you
listens
even on
to
this
these
show?
podcasts.
But we are not a partner though, because you have to stream to 75 people at the same time, at least a couple weeks straight.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
We don't quite pull in as many people as the same time as Joppa does.
Dude.
What?
That's
How
legit.
is that? How is that possible?
Because he's taken all our viewers.
Oh, Joppa. Jeez,
Dang it.
come on. Share the wealth.
Yeah, rate us once in a while. Jeez.
There was a question in Joppa's chat about how much of the world is built. So this is what Joppa said. All the terrain for King's Reach is done. That seems good.
I mean, flora and fauna, or what?
Uh,
What is
No,
that
like
exactly?
I don't.
land.
It seems like a loaded statement.
Land is what
Yeah,
he
I
said.
agree, Rob.
Not decorations, not anything else,
Sure.
just land for King's Reach is done. Fairthale has a lot of land mass. He didn't say all, a lot, but the graphics have to completely be updated. So
What to
Well, that's a nugget.
the Unreal
That's a little
5?
bit of a bean.
I guess. Well, no, because they had it. They had it before.
Fairthale looked really good, right?
Yeah, but they have to update it.
Right. Obviously, yeah.
Right. Silent Plains in King's Reaches has lots done. Wild's End has lots done. Black Rose Keep and Eastern Plains have lots done. And also, they have the same biome as Thronefast, so they should be done fairly quickly. And
Does that mean Black Rose Keep is next? Is that the
no,
after Halnir's Cave?
because he said he wants to show a change in biome next.
Oh.
So he wants... I think maybe Silent Plains might be next, because he said
Yeah.
Silent Plains is a huge switch in biome.
Interesting. And that's that gives me the tingles because like through all these seasons, for those of us that have been lucky enough to
Keep
been
your
playing this
tingles
game-
away from me.
Well, too late, buddy. You got cooties. But like the stuff that we've been playing in some form before, and it looks a heck of a lot better now. But it's a little old hat if you've been playing it for years at this point. And next season's going to be Halnir's Cave, and a lot of us have seen Halnir's Cave, and Halnir's Cave is super fun. But Silent Plains, I mean, that's a whole new ball game.
It's totally new. We don't know.
Oh my gosh, that is going to make me super excited.
Also, he said that the next zone after Halnir's is well underway. So that seems good, right?
It's promising.
Silent Plains, that's
Promising?
got to be Silent Plains, right?
He kind of, to me, and I don't know, I don't work for VR, I don't have direct messages with Joppa at all. To me, it seemed like he was hinting that it was going to be Silent Plains. Because he focused a long time about how that he didn't want to do the same biome, and that how Silent Plains was totally different biome, and it would have to be completely different.
Love it. I love everything about that. Because that's going to be good for streaming. It's going to be good for getting people super hyped up to see something different. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Joppa confirmed that Halnir's Cave, with a full group, level 10, which is what it was at before, but you never know what they're going to do with changing levels of stuff. He confirmed that level 10 is when you can hit Halnir's. So, pretty quick.
That's good. We needed something in that range.
For sure.
There was also a question about the difference between summoners summoning portals for people to port through and wizards teleporting people. And Joppa said that summoners summon people through portals or gateways versus wizards that port through people through magical, already existing magical portals. So
is that like a pull versus a push?
I guess so. I guess
you push people towards you rather than push people. Wizards would push someone away to some place where summoners pull them to you, like Call of Hero kind of thing.
I don't know the lore reason behind it, but the practical difference is that Wizard gets ports, and Wizards port people to only specific places, whereas summoners can summon people to very specific spots and that type of thing, but it has to be within the same zone. That's typically how that goes.
But not necessarily to where the summoner's located. The summoner could maybe summon you to a different spot?
I don't know.
Interesting.
So let's visit the VIP Discord, where it's only Harmony and old school EQ players holding hands and getting along.
Oh, there's so much happiness and so much joyousness. I just made up a word how awesome it is. So we're talking about Sav dropping the Be Nice rule for player camps. And we've kind of gone about this. We kind of did some mocking of that one post that was posted about me where they called the camp before they were even at the camp. So little things like that. But now, we're talking about people getting pissed off in a game that's not out yet, that has no rules set up for that. I know that there's not always enough content, but that's part of the game, going to find the content. Or you can contest it. There aren't camps. So if you want to try to pull half the stuff and take away XP from another group, that's fine. I don't think people should get pissed at that, because there's not any camps in Pantheon. That's the current rule right now. But one of the things that caught my eye in the Discord was talking about first to engage. And this was a really heated topic when last year's TLPs for EverQuest came out, when they introduced this first to engage rule set, where if you were the first to touch it, it's your mob until you die and it resets. And if you die and it resets, then someone else can try it. But if you're the first to engage, that's your mob. And what do you guys think about that? Is it taking it out of the player's hand? Is that the right way? Or should we just govern ourselves and be mindful of people's camps?
Let me go first. So here's the thing. Before I get into first to engage, VR, I feel like, is trying to kind of live in the middle, right? They think by telling people to be good that they will be good. They want to shake their finger at people and say, don't do this, don't be naughty, Johnny. But Johnny doesn't care.
Johnny gives two shits.
He gives 0 Fs about what Sav says on the official Discord. He really does. So you got two choices here. It's either the Wild Wild West, where we just go do shootouts in the street and the winner takes all, or you're going to have to regulate people, and you're going to have to actually punish people, because up till now, they haven't been punishing people for doing really crappy things. I'm fine with either. I don't care. I just want to know which one you're going to do. So whatever. I think first to engage, I don't mind it. I think that it would solve a lot of problems. You get the mob, you're engaged with it, it's your baby, figure it out. I'm fine with that.
I'm of the original vision of kind of the community figures it out, which I suppose that puts me kind of in the Wild Wild West box. But
but how do we determine how many mobs are in a camp? Is it like, okay, there are 20 mobs that I can pull from a camp, and
there are no camps. You get to do whatever you want, and if you're being pissy with someone, then I mean, if they want to take it to shouts or OOC, then people are going to know. If they're going to try to soil your name, people out there will know, well, I've grouped with that guy before. I know this guy. Like, there's no way that's the case. And then they might get involved, maybe send you tells, and you could be like, here's a stitch. Like, they're getting pissy, like they think they're entitled to this, and this is the way. So, like, it's kind of a community, like, this is kind of the drama that kind of drives us to these games in the first place. Like, you don't want to
Fair point.
completely get rid of that. You don't want it to be like a Care Bear game to where you have like, you tell the teacher, you tattle on someone kind of a thing. Like, that leaves us sour. There's no great way to go about it, which leads me to think that maybe the Wild Wild West is kind of the best way to go about it. But with that being said, exactly. With that being said, there are red lines that shouldn't be crossed. When someone's starting to get into like harassment and like criminality, like, I'm gonna kill you, kind of like.
Let's leave the obvious stuff out, right? Like, obviously, if you cross certain social lines,
real life
social
things.
lines that should never be crossed, obviously.
Sure.
Bad.
But so long as you don't cross those lines, then those definite red lines, and you keep it within game, and it's just like, how dare you, like, this is BS, like, blah blah blah. I'll let the community deal with it. It keeps VR's costs down for not having to deal with a big team to deal with this sort of stuff. But if you want to do kind of the Care Bear approach, I guess that's fine. Like, I know I talk a big game, but I don't really. I'm kind of nice in game. Like, I'm not going to be that person who's going to be on the wrong side of that anyways. So I'm fine with it. But with that being said, that's like post-launch. Right now, it should most definitely be Wild Wild West, because everyone's, especially the VIPs, have paid a lot of money to play this game, and they should be able to live out their. It's like the Westworld. If you've watched Westworld on, what is it, Showtime
HBO.
or HBO, like it's your kind of fantasy. Like, you've paid a lot of money to get in there and do your thing, and yeah, other people have paid a lot of money too. But I mean, just let people do their thing, I guess. Wild Wild West. I mean, people are gonna burn bridges. People are gonna get bad reps, and that's life.
That's how it goes. Haven't they kind of created this problem themselves? I mean, the devs have taken that approach of the Wild Wild West, where let the community figure it out. We want to have strife in the game. We want players to interact. We know that it's going to be messy, but we don't care. And people can like train them if you don't like them, and we're not afraid to exploit. And like like their whole attitude up to this point has been figure it out. We're just going to let you do it, right? Player rep. We're bringing back player reputation. So I mean,
Love it.
Is it too late to put the cap back on the bottle here, Dymlos?
I don't think so. I mean, it's how they want to do it, right? Like, ultimately, first to engage is how you fix it, and you put a simple rule on it. Like, this is already in the program. Once you're engaged, you can't take it from them, and that's that. So and engaged mobs, like, you can't train them that way because the mob is attached to you, right? Like, you can't take a mob that's attached to you and then run it over a group. They won't even attack that group. They'll go back to their spot and reset before they attack anything else. So it easily eliminates, and it's just straight through program. So if you want the cheapest, cost effective, no devs involved, all of that, first to engage is the way to go.
I forgot that's what we're talking about. First to engage. Like, I mean, if I'm an enchanter and I see a group trying to camp a mob, and if I'm a class, like if I'm an enchanter, I'm going to cast my quickest casting spell, knowing that it's going to be a little bit quicker than the group's puller when that name finally spawns. And I'll time my tiny little thing that's not going to draw any aggro, boom, do it and time it perfectly to where then this group does all my work for me, and then loot drops and I say thank you very much, I'm running and get my loot. Like, that's a definite exploit. That's not going to be good. That will most definitely happen if you have first to target, first to engage, right? You'd have to almost do like locked encounters at that point.
That's what basically that is. First to engage, it locks the encounter, and you get the loot you're the only one that gets anything from it.
But-
It doesn't
But can
attack
anyone
anybody
else
or anything like
attack
that.
the mob?
No,
No one else can
nope.
do any damage.
Once it's yours, it's yours
Okay.
until
Yeah,
you
then
die.
I'd be fine with that. Yeah.
Draq, thoughts on first to engage?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I think that it solves a lot of problems. I'm fine with either, though. If you want to do most damage done, like I said, I don't care what you do. I just want you to pick a direction and stop being, oh, let's hug each other and work it out. These players are not going to love each other and hug it out. Either you're saying, let's go, it's the Wild Wild West, anything goes, have at it, or you have to put things in place, or you have to fire a shot across the bow and say, like, we're gonna, and they've said they're going to suspend people, but they've also said that before and they haven't done it. So they actually have to do it if they're going to.
What's the alternative to first to engage? Just
most damage done.
Here's what they should do then. They should alternate. Every other zone is one or the other. And you
Just
don't know
random?
which one it is. And then every day or so, they flip them.
Amazing.
Every hour.
Amazing.
Every poll.
Every day, just like you just flip them randomly, and one zone is different from the other. No way to know which one's which. Bam. Pure stinking chaos, Wild Wild West. Just got dragons.
Solving problems. All right, now let's do a little MMORPG news. We got some interesting stuff this week. How about a little Star Reach news?
Nobody even saw this coming this week. Like, this was just announced that the dev Raph, don't even remember his last name, but he was involved with Star Wars Galaxies and has a thick history in MMO. He is saying that he's finally able to pull the curtain back on a MMO that he's been trying to do for forever. And in this MMO, Stars Reach, we are able to do anything we want to. There's no real classes, kind of in a la Project Gorgon. There's no real path to take. There's not a huge amount of lore. There's not, really just whatever it is you want to do, you get to do it. And it's permanent sandbox. So everyone experiences what happens when you do it in your spot. If you mine a cave for gold or whatever till the point of it's out of gold, it's permanently out of gold unless something within the world creates it. Like, he got so sciencey with it. Like, he's talking about, like, with biomes, like, it's down to the microscopic level. But like, yeah, this is absolutely nothing like we've ever heard before. But
so like before, so if you go onto a planet and kill a bear, no bear is going to respawn until you see a bear give birth to another bear, kind of a thing.
He actually,
and then it becomes a bear cub.
He mentioned that you can make species go extinct in the game. That was a part of it.
Yeah, it's certainly a really, really good idea. But my biggest issue with this, well, no, it really isn't, because we've tried it before. Ultima Online did it. There are Star Wars Galaxies did it. So it just, the problem that we don't see with this is that players that play video games, and really MMOs a lot, are human. And humans are really good about destroying things. And especially trolls. Like, there are a ton of trolls out there, and they just go after.
I'm confused. Are we talking about humans?
Yeah, internet trolls.
Yeah,
toxicity and things like that. So like, there will be people that will just make a planet go extinct because they want to see the world burn, right? Like, there's a lot of jokers out there. And so
that's why they created COVID, is to get rid of the McDonald's bagels.
Oh, how dare they? That's what I'm talking about. The humanity will get rid of the steak bagel in Stars Reach. That's how it'll happen.
That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, it looks, it's supposed to be like colorful and nice, and it's for nice people to play. It's not for the internet trolls. But like, anything new the internet trolls are going to come out and consume it and eat this whole thing and destroy. I don't care how many planets. You can put 10 billion planets on this thing. There will be internet trolls for years consuming planets and making sure that every planet has been destroyed and that their destruction is permanently on this game for forever.
I mean, I thought this game was stupid, but you're really kind of selling me on it.
Yeah, right?
This
This is a game for you, Rob.
It really is.
I have a couple things to say. Number one, this has a lot of issues with it. Like, whenever I hear the game say, you can do anything, thousands of planets, millions of species, you can become any class, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, it's going to be fantastic, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're making crap up. You don't actually have a plan for any of this. And you're just saying stuff. It means nothing. You don't have a plan for any of this. The only thing that's mildly interesting about this game is that he mentioned that he was using AI to control some of his NPCs, which I think is the wave of the future. But I don't know if he was just saying that, because whenever you start saying all that other stuff, then I kind of throw everything else out the door. But he did say that, and that is mildly interesting to me. But other than that, it's just a guy that's saying a whole bunch of crap that he probably can never actually do.
Yeah,
Perfect.
where's the soundboard applause? Crowd applause.
Just add that.
Smash that like button.
The second thing, this is another kind of breaking news situation in the MMO world. Our favorite studio, Daybreak, is buying Palia, this game that really doesn't match anything that Daybreak does, is going to churn out a new MMO that is still in pre-release or whatever you want to call it. They haven't even hit the release yet. So do we think that Daybreak has a chance with this game? Are they going to do it justice? And I guess it's not just Daybreak, but it's whoever owns Daybreak. Is it E7? I can't remember the title of
E7? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But they technically didn't buy Palia? Yeah. So they bought the company who is making Palia, which is, I think, a whole different way to look at it, because they're buying the whole, they're buying those employees, the whole infrastructure of that company. It's where they might not be necessarily even interested in Palia. They just want the workforce, maybe, to then restructure or throw them on different projects.
Wait,
Yeah,
this
they're
is
all going to Origin server.
this is their new way to develop EverQuest 3. This is it right here.
Oh my gosh.
Cozy EQ3. That
Cozy
sounds
EQ3.
wonderful.
Palia is going to be reskinned for EQ3.
Oh, beautiful. I can't wait.
That's what they did.
This is brilliant.
Oh my gosh. We just uncovered it.
Facts unraveled here on the Rewind every Saturday. People keep coming back. This is what you come back for.
That's genius.
Let's take a look at the show schedule. So this week is a pretty standard week. We got your After Dark on Mondays with your Pantheon. You got your Chaos Theory on Thursdays with WoW Ascension. You got your Rewind on Saturday, and on Sunday will still be Theric playing BG3 with Quest and Coffee. So pretty much a standard week. I know I've been saying there's going to be new stuff coming soon, and there will be. It will definitely be launched by the end of summer. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have one new show to announce. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
And now we're on to the top 5. This week was a request. Someone in our comments section of last week's Rewind, we joked about the snacks that we did on our blog. And so now we want to bring that back, bring everybody in on the joke, because the joke is rather funny. Draq has a very odd list of top 5 that he put down in the blog. Now, I will say this. He did put revised next to the top 5. So I assume that something's probably going to change, but hopefully for the joke, the number 2 will still be the same snack that we got on the blog. But we're going to go round robin and do our top 5 favorite snacks while gaming.
Number 5, beef jerky. Beef jerky, always a good snack. Got to have that protein.
That's good. That's good. That kind of goes with my top 5 as well. I do want to preface that when I think about snacks, it needs to be something that is not just going to be filler. Like I want something that is going to sustain, because I don't want to get up every 30 seconds for another candy bar or something along the lines of that. It better be pretty substantial and something that is probably going to give me at least a little nutrition. So at number 5 for me, peanut M&Ms. They're the best M&Ms. They've got protein in it from that peanut and are super delicious, and don't get your keyboard all messed up. Another very important part of the gaming snack. Rob, number 5.
Oh man, it's kind of weird that you say this, but my number 5 is have you ever had the little wiener things that are in the hush puppies? Yeah? Have you had those?
I
Do you
know what a
I'm talking
hush
about?
puppy is, and I know
It's
what
like a little
weenie
wiener and
is.
it has like the bread around it.
Oh yeah, like a little like crescent roll with a little tiny hot dog in it. Yeah.
Well, it's like that, but instead of that little wiener in the middle, it's peanut butter, and instead of the bread on the outside, it's beef jerky.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be an excellent top 5 from Random Rob. Number 4, Draq.
So wait, that's jerky covered with peanut butter? That's what you're going with?
You're going to have to go back and
it's
re-listen
literally
to all this to write
exact
it down.
opposite. That's the exact opposite.
Peanut butter covered with jerky.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Obviously.
Number 4, string cheese. Easy,
A good choice.
quick, healthy. Done.
Love it. Kind of on the same as my top 4, or my number 4. I do cheese and crackers. Just last night on our stream, I had cheese and crackers. I love a good aged cheddar. I love a solid multi-grain cracker to put on top of that, and it's super delicious and fairly good for you. Robert.
I like crackers as well, but I like to hang them from the ceiling off of string. So I would guess you would just call that stringed crackers.
Love it. Track number 3.
We had to have something naughty on this list, so the naughtiness is my favorite Sour Patch Kids. Both the sour, followed by the sweet, the perfect sugar snack.
I do love me some Sour Patch Kids too, especially the little like watermelons. And I've really fallen in love with the grape ones too. That's a good choice. I agree. What do you mean gross?
I don't like the grape ones because it's all one flavor. I want multiple flavors.
Yeah, you need to put multiple kids in your mouth at the same time.
Whoa. Number 3 for Dymlos. I completely agree with you, Draq, that we're still here to live, and I do like sugar. So for me, number 3 is frozen Pop-Tarts. Preferably the cinnamon sugar one, cinnamon brown sugar. S'mores one is also very good. The all chocolate one where it's got chocolate inside and chocolate frosting. All very good.
Oh, that's the good one.
Frozen Pop-Tarts is the where it's at. Don't toast them. Put them in the freezer. It's refreshing.
Frozen Pop-Tarts isn't even... okay.
Box man, if you go and look at a box of Pop-Tarts, it shows you all the ways you can enjoy a Pop-Tart. You can enjoy it right out of the wrapper. You can toast it, but one of the other ways is absolutely frozen. Absolutely should try it. Do not knock it until you try it.
My number 3 is going to be a very off-the-wall thing that no one would ever say, ever, but I'm going to go out and say it. Water.
What the heck?
You can't do that. You
can't break the joke before we do the joke.
What? What are you talking
That's
about?
the whole joke, is that Draq picked water as his number 2 snack, which is not even a snack.
Okay, well, I suppose when we do this
Don't
live,
steal
when we
the
start
joke.
Recording. When we do the recording, like we'll edit that out.
You signed a contract with us, and you were the lawyer for it.
I bet you're going to do some weird thing where you're going to do the intro at the end, and you're going to make this all make it look like I've already said hi. And
you're about to get cut from this whole section. God. That's about what's here.
You had to do. I'm trying to do a mix between Sour Patch Kids and frozen Pop-Tarts. So I got nothing on that.
Sour Patch frozen Pop-Tarts.
Party Kids. Have fun editing this section. Holy shit!
It's gonna be hilarious.
All right. Number 2. I know I've gotten a lot of crap for this. Dymlos
for good reason.
We'll never let this go, but I stand by it. I stand by it. Number 2 snack, water. You need to drink water. If you're gaming and you're not drinking water, then you're losing. So
I agree with you on this, but it is not a snack.
it's a snack.
It's water. It's a drink, if anything. We're not listing our top 5 favorite drinks.
When I go
We're listing snacks.
when I go get snacks, sometimes I just grab water. It's fine. It's a snack.
I like to drink water too, but it's not a snack.
What's the definition of a snack? What is your definition of a snack?
I don't know. Let's take it to the dictionary.
All right,
Literally from Oxford, whatever, a small amount of food eaten between meals. Okay, so sorry, Draq, but you can put water here, and that's a funny joke, but I will never, ever let you live this down.
It's fine. I'll deal with it.
For me, number 2, I'm going with more sugar. Cosmic brownies, those Little Debbie delicious brownies with the multicolored chocolate chips on top of it. So delicious, so good. I could smash a whole box of those, no problem.
How many of those do you think Dymlo could eat before he, threw up?
I bet Rob could send him a juggler's dozen of them.
Yeah. Oh, juggler's dozens are expensive, though.
How much did that cost? And how many were in the juggler's dozen?
It was, I think, a dozen.
So you sent him 12 boxes of Little Debbie's? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like $100 worth of Little Debbie's.
Oh my goodness.
That's unbelievable.
It was amazing. You should have seen the picture, because it was Amazon, and they show they show the proof of delivery, and they showed me the picture of the box on his doorstep, and I lost it. I was like, that's a big freaking box, or that's a very tiny door. One of those two things.
Oh, that was probably my favorite stream. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's a video on demand out there of Dymlo. For every sub that we got that day, he had to eat a Little Debbie strawberry shortcake roll. Unbelievably funny. He definitely vomited. Spoiler alert. But he did return. So he gave it another go, but was definitely not the same after that.
Totally hilarious.
You changed him, Rob. You changed him.
I did.
And he's never coming back from it.
My number 1 snack, frozen.
Whoa, do I get a number 2?
Nope, you're out. You're done.
What? No, I got a good number 2.
You got nothing. You're out. Number
it's
1.
a chocolate milkshake.
Number 1, frozen chocolate covered raspberries. I like the dark chocolate. That keeps it a little nice. And I love raspberries. So frozen chocolate covered raspberries. Also the frozen.
What about those seeds?
No, I just eat them. I love it.
I couldn't get past the seeds. I do like raspberries, but there's just too many seeds in them. For me, number 1, and I have stuck by this since Draq has been doing his... What were those little interviews that you did so long ago?
Pantheon profile.
Oh, yeah. So I did a Pantheon profile when I first came on the scene, and he asked me what my favorite snack was, and it's still true to this day. Peanut butter filled pretzels. Those little nuggies of pretzels filled with peanut butter. Another great source of protein, and you can't overdo it. That's the best part of them, is that you can only eat so many before you're full.
Yeah, those are really good. An excellent number 1.
Thank you, Draq. Thank you. Unlike your number 2. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Rob, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us. It's been a wonderful 2 hours spending with you. It's just like it was yesterday, and we just spent 2 hours with you, and now we got to spend another 2 hours with you. Do you have any parting words for the community?
I know we're going to regret this, but...
I do, because of what I understand to be certain edits. Number 2 is chocolate milkshake, and number 1 is beer. Thank you, and good night.
Good night, folks. See you next week.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.